People always say, oh, we need a fighter. It's like, I'm always
well,
like, yes, you need a fighter, but you also have to know how to fight. And I think if you get to the core of humanity, we all want the same things. How we go about wanting the same things are different. People tend to make the best decisions with the facts that they have at the time. If you have new information, you're allowed to reevaluate where you were before. And with your new information, change.
welcome. Welcome to Platforms, where we hear stories, perspectives, and diverse experiences of immigrants. Immigrants in the US, in the diaspora, and everywhere where migration is occurring. Now, with us today, we're going to be meeting one of the rising stars who will take us into global conversations about belonging, identity, public service. With us is Mayor Ukeme Awakessien Jeter, Mayor of Upper Arlington. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Dr. Rosea. Thanks so much for having me.
This is really an exciting day because you've been one of those who wanted to get on this podcast. So it's such a pleasure, I know in your busy schedule, to have you come and talk to us today about your journey, about your leadership, and about everything else you'd like to talk to us about. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Right.
I love the name, Platform.
Platforms,
Thanks for
platform your
Thanks
story.
for giving me a platform.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
And we're going to start right away because your journey to the mayoral position, president of Upper Arlington City Council, broke a 130-year record. Let's just start from there.
Yeah.
So you are a trailblazer. What got you started into this journey of becoming City Council president?
I often tell people as an immigrant, when you get here, you can't vote. So your involvement in the democratic process is limited to advocacy. You can canvass for a candidate, maybe donate to the candidate, but you can't vote, right? So I always kind of had a very passive involvement with democracy. That changed a lot when I had children. And specifically, my daughter's experiences when I moved to the new community. Now, I've lived in 8 cities, 4 countries. When I immigrated to the United States, I immigrated for college. So I was 18.
That's
I like to say it's a tease, but also true. I grew up Black 365 days a year. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay.
Everyone around me is Black. In fact, I think the first time I contextualized identity or that I was Black was when I immigrated to the United States, right? Because all of a sudden, I come from a majority to being, a minority.
Correct.
And so, but I'm navigating that experience while also having the vocabulary to navigate the experience and kind of the emotional intelligence to understand. For my daughter, her navigation, being the only Black child in her kindergarten class when we arrived in the community, it's different. She's 5, doesn't have the vocabulary, doesn't completely understand, but knows enough to come and say, hey, Mom, can you straighten my hair for school tomorrow?
That's what she said.
That's what she said. So for her, she thought straightening my hair somehow changes belonging.
Yes.
That triggered for me trying to understand what is she experiencing and how can I make that experience different? That's how I got into public service. That with a little prodding from, the Hamilton soundtrack song that says the room where it happens, because we have to be in the room where decisions are being made in order to influence change.
Okay, that's fascinating
Yeah.
on its own,
Yeah.
right? Because like you just said, you yourself just saying, I came in, just wasn't even too involved in the democratic process.
Yeah.
So somebody might still say that's a leap.
Yeah.
To go from, I'm just an immigrant who came here and talking about the identity of being Black in America compared to growing up in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Still, what motivated, other than just hearing your daughter, was it because your own identity was challenged or?
Yeah. For me, it's this understanding that excellence is not limited to race. Again, growing up, my dad's a biochemist.
Okay.
I've seen Black doctors, Black physicists, and you come here and I'll give a very practical example. I remember sitting in my engineering class because my undergraduate was mechanical engineering.
There you go.
And there are unconscious biases, I kind of talk about this in my book, ImmiGRIT. This question of, I remember answering a question and one of the classmates was like, how do you know that? And it was almost like a physics concept. It was something that is just universal. I tease like gravity is the same, whether you learn it in French, Arabic, English. The heart is in the same position in the human body, despite what university you go learn that from, right? And so the surprise of knowledge, I remember thinking to myself, that's all that you wouldn't think I know that. But it's a very unique experience in America based on race, assume a level of intelligence. And it becomes very visceral as a parent that you don't want your children to grow up thinking that their intelligence is limited for race.
Yes.
And that for me was visceral. How do we build community where everyone is part of and takes a responsibility of learning and doing community with people that may not even look like you?
You just mentioned implicit bias. So growing up in Nigeria, your level of confidence as a young woman before coming to college was like what? Just describe it so people get a picture of what it meant to grow up in.
I have 4 sisters.
Okay.
And I grew up with a mom that would tell me all the time that what a woman can do, what a man can do, a woman can do. I went to all-girls boarding school, which is a common experience in Nigeria.
Yes.
So my chemistry teacher was female. My math teacher was female.
There you go.
I think my parents intentionally, because the issue in Nigeria is not race, but the gender bias, that a man can and should go to school and a woman doesn't necessarily need it. My mom was also a victim of that. Her brothers were sent to school and she wasn't. And so I think my parents were very invested because of the number of female children that they have, the girl child.
Yes.
To make sure as a girl child, I didn't feel like I wasn't born with the same brain. My mom would even say things like that. Like, that brain and your brain are the same brain. You train a brain the same way. Yes. And as a matter of factly, it's true.
It's true.
We're not inherently born with different brains, So I grew up hearing that, being in environments that encouraged that, and developing a sense of confidence that I think I also wanted for my children.
Yes, and that's something that's transferable.
Yeah.
The confidence you bring from growing up in a different environment as an immigrant, you translate it in the book, which I hope we can get to today, where you can share a little bit of your heart and passion in that book. So here you go, you come to the United States, you have this encounter, and so you say, well, I'm going into politics. How was that journey for you? What did you have to do so you can inspire and continue to inspire the coming generations?
I like to say you got to do it scared. And like the fact that I was naive about the process also helped. Like I didn't get stuck in what should be. It was always one foot in front of the other. I didn't know jack diddly squat about running a campaign. Let's just start there. But I had 3 women around me that believed in my campaign. They were my original campaign team, and ultimately them being nodes grew the team to more than them. So those women were committed to it, were committed to the introductions, were committed to doing what we needed to do. We also stayed authentic. I'll give an example about that.
Right.
Oh, a couple of examples. I remember us thinking about our launch event for the campaign. And generally people do their launch in some restaurant and it's stuffy and it's not my style. It's summer, it's hot. My kids are young at the time. My son was maybe 4, maybe 5, right? It needed to be multi-generational. Like the parents had to be able to come with their kids because my kids were going to be there, all those kind of things. And I said, let's have a block party. A block party had never been done to launch a campaign in the city, but that felt
real for you.
Real because it was just the front of the house. People could run, my kids, if they need to run in the house, could run in the house. And we were still achieving the purpose of introducing me to the community.
Perfect.
Another example was even my campaign colors. It's teal and orange, which is not typically what you see for a campaign color. I remember us talking through it. Most people pick red, they pick blue. And I was like, not me. Have you seen my closet? Have you seen my closet? Like the colors in these closets don't even match. Like I would be beautiful. On the campaign trail with my clothes looking very different than this yard sign.
Filling out a body.
Yes. And so it was also very important for me to stay true to self, regardless of what the experts
were saying.
This is how you run a campaign. I had to stay authentic. The last thing I had to do was believe in myself and lean into all of it, even the chance that failure could be an option. I say that because I'd only lived in the community 3 years at the time.
That's it.
I had zero name recognition. I'd already been challenged or where my money to run the campaign was going to come from because I had lived in many different communities and there was a fear that all these connections I had outside of the community were the ones that were going to donate to my campaign and therefore it would be outside funds influencing local elections. So I made a commitment that 80% of the funds raised came from the 3 zip codes within Upper Arlington. But I remember when I launched my campaign, everyone tells you, this is the dons you should talk to. These are the political leaders. You start to get all that whisper and chatter and everyone assumes you need to do these certain things. And I am taking one of those political leaders to coffee and a walk. And I'm sharing the hey, I'm running, here's why I'm running, doing your campaign pitch. And this leader says to me, okay, how long have you lived in the community? And I'm like, 3 years. And they're like, what boards and commissions have you served on? And I'd only served on 2 at that point. And this leader looks me dead square in the eye and says, you know what I think? I think you should, serve on a few more boards and commissions. And
there you go.
And the next election cycle run. And when you do that, I'll be supportive of you then. Okay. Almost like kind of like.
Okay.
And if I didn't believe in myself and my campaign, I could have gone home that day and just not gone. Yes. But I had to say to myself, I can't wait for anyone to give me permission. Permission is optional in this work. But also, when you say, I don't need permission, you got to be willing to accept whatever comes. Success may come or failure may come.
That's it. It's a risk.
But I've learned as an immigrant for the last 20 plus years in this country, no one is going to invite me to the table. No one's going to invite me to the rooms. And so this idea of waiting for permission, waiting to be tapped in, is not likely to come for me. So I'm going to have to insert myself. And again, failure may be optional there, but I got to be willing to accept it.
And that's courage. And that's courage to know, as much as you're listening to yourself, you're also driven by your core belief and what you know you can bring to the table.
Yes.
And we can't say this enough to anybody who feels othered, outside, less than, or as the world says to you. So what you're saying is critical to the point about identity and confidence and also the vision. Because I'm going to get to your next thing you're trying to do now.
Yeah.
But before we do that, so in the 2 years you served as mayor and then got reelected, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
You brought some perspectives to the table.
Yeah.
Could you share what those are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them is this idea, my core belief about government. I believe that government has an obligation and opportunity to make people's lives better.
Okay.
That government is responsible for protecting the dignity, the safety, and access to opportunities for everyone, not just the well-connected, not just the people that know how to access government, but everyone. And so using that as my core belief on government, one of the first levers is how we spend money. Because money signals our values.
Budgets.
You pick up that where and how you spend the money shows what the things that are important to you. And so the question is always, when we're spending money, what values is signaling? But the first thing I wanted to do was a procurement audit and overhaul. Before I was elected to council, I served on our financial review task force.
Okay.
And I had this unique opportunity as a citizen to review the finances. And I remember in that process saying, well, how do we understand that my city has a $55 million operating budget, meaning we spend about that every year, and everything from roads to vendors to all of that, you name it. How can I tell how much of this went to minority-owned businesses, how much went to veteran-owned businesses, what their access to opportunity was? So did they even know that we were bidding for this work? Because information. Because it looks like we have the same 9 vendors that already understand the process, already have access to the opportunity, already bidding. If we believe that government has a role in that, how do we make the process accessible? And also, how are we accountable to know how we spent the money? And so no city management likes to go through an audit. So it takes a while to explain why this value is there and get your colleagues behind you and everyone voting on that, which was the first step. Proud to do that. Proud of the city staff for undergoing an audit. And out of that audit came suggestions and things we can do in advancement of those values. And it's been a 2-3 year process to put that in place. We just built an $85 million community center. And in passing the ordinance with the amount of money to be spent on the community center, we earmarked that 15% of that 85 million has to go to minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses. That's not something that the city has ever clearly stated in spend before.
Wow.
And proud to say that 19% of that $85 million for the community center did, in fact, meet the stated goal of going to these places. So that's one of the initiatives, right?
Yes.
Money signals values, and that's value to me. The second initiative was that access to government. For civic engagement to be representative, people have to know how to access government. And for me, our boards and commissions are the way that we do that. The boards and commissions are appointments made by City Council. Correct. Everything from our board and zoning appeal to Parks and Rec. These entities inform us on what's going on, and right? But also the process for applying for our boards and commissions wasn't clear. People didn't even know when openings came about.
That's another.
Right. And then it almost sometimes always felt like a nod and a wink that, the mayor's friend is now in this. And it's like, no, let's make the process transparent. Let's streamline and say this is always going to be the application window. right? Let's have an interview process that's transparent, accountable, and backable. And that's what we did. So first we passed the ordinance to align all appointments. So every board and commission appointment happens at the same time. Then we had the interview process follow the same. Then the application process follow the same. Another initiative that I'm just so proud of our colleagues, you do the advocacy piece.
Yes.
I've often said that in government, you're one of 7 votes.
Yes.
For change to happen, you got to
everybody.
get those 4 votes.
You need everybody.
You need a majority
You
of the
still
votes.
need that.
So
You're not
it's
gonna
like
rig it.
you can say, we need this, blah, 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 but you also have to do the advocacy to get the votes that you need to, in fact, have the change.
And so that speaks to your leadership style.
Thank you. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
speaks
it's exactly
to your leadership style.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying about the commissions. I had sort of that experience on the state level with the Ohio New African Immigrants Commission. We had to literally sometimes lobby. And I'm like, how do we get people in here?
Yeah.
Some of them I had to canvass for. I had to find people and say, here. But it was almost a closed process. We didn't understand it. So I truly can relate to that. But back to the leadership. It's one thing to believe in things and be authentic, be innovative, you bring in new ideas. But it's another to bring those people together to vote for it.
Yeah.
How did you do that? What were some pushbacks, if any, that you had? Or did they just believe you and go with you? Talk to us about what that leadership looks like.
That's great. Because a lot of people always say, "Oh, we need a fighter." It's like yes, you need a fighter, but you also have to know how to fight, right? It's just not one thing to be a fighter, but you also have to know how to fight, and that's that effectiveness.
Correct.
For me, it's always been coalition building.
Correct.
I love that this podcast is named Platforms, but giving people the platform.
Yes.
So people don't understand stories that they don't hear. People don't understand perspective that they've just never heard. If it's not your lived experience, someone else has to tell you, right? So building the collisions and the opportunity to hear from others helps. Second thing, facts are one thing, but how you relay the facts. The facts they don't matter on
I call them cold.
Yeah, they don't matter on the like bring them alive, make them tangible, make them real. And then you just have to be persistent. The persistency piece is also missing.
There you go.
I remember when I was advocating for a housing study to be done. As we know, housing affordability is one of the big issues in Central Ohio.
Yes.
Upper Arlington was built as a residential community, bedroom community. It's landlocked, fully developed, and 90% residential for the most part. So it's time to understand and rethink what does housing look like and where we're trying to go to. But to answer the question of where we're trying to go to, we must answer the question of what do we already have, which is the housing study. People were afraid of that because they're like, oh, you're probably next thing you're going to advocate for Section 8 housing. So the first time I said housing study, it failed. Oh. I had to be persistent to go out and say, because I see failure. I'm like, all right, that means I didn't do my job the first time around to explain it in a way that gets the votes. Yes. You could have given up that first time and just said, it failed the votes, so I'm not, this is not going to go. But you get back up, you lick your wounds, you kind of look at, okay, who was it that didn't understand? What was it what could I do better? And go back at it. And the second time was able to get the votes. So you have to be persistent. That's the last part of it. You can't take failure as the end.
Ooh, I love it. Pushing. And that brings me to this point about a diverse voice.
Yeah.
I can't just gloss over that. First, repeating it again, minority, Black, use whatever term, in the 130-year history of Upper Arlington.
103.
103. So your perspective is definitely not common.
Yeah.
But you're talking about how you communicated it, how it was different, how it's authentic, but you stayed persistent to it.
Yeah.
Now, is there something in Upper Arlington that made this easier for them to accept this change? Because change is hard. Change is hard. What about Upper Arlington? So you're speaking now about your community.
Yeah.
What was it about the community that made them eventually buy into this vision and this person that's new?
Yeah. Wow, that's a great question. Yeah. Honestly, we're humans.
Come on.
Everything
Say it.
about what I talked about are human things.
Yes.
And I think if you get to the core of humanity, we all want the same things. How we go about wanting the same things are different. The only thing that causes difference is the agreed upon how. But we all want to feel safe. We all want to feel heard. We want our dignity preserved.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so that's just a credit to the people and the type of humans that are within Upper Arlington.
Yes.
They just reach for the humanity.
Yes. And so I'm going somewhere with this next question.
Yeah.
As you can tell. Our humanity.
Yeah.
We all may look different, sound different, speak different, accents, but bottom line, we're all looking for the same things.
Yeah.
So we're switching to just the topic of immigration.
Yeah.
Right now, you're getting ready to take the next step.
Yeah.
So I see you going further. I know you don't want to hear it now, but once we're done with this, we're moving up. And so there's a message for the country. There's a message for the state.
Yeah.
There's a message for all of us as humans that we're all the same. Right? Speak to me about the fear that we perceive about immigrants.
Yeah. I talk about this a little bit in my book, Immigrant.
Yes.
America's a land of immigrants, no doubt.
No doubt.
The very founding of this country is that you had immigrants arrive on a boat to form America.
Yes.
America has also in parallel had to confront and deal with racism. It's why we've had the civil rights movement.
Yep.
So immigration is coexisting alongside a history of a country that's dark. And so I say immigration, while we fundamentally understand that America is the land of immigrants, is not colorblind. Right?
Nice.
It's not colorblind. So it was fine. We were fine with immigration as long as it was the white immigrants. The minute we start to have different type of immigrants. I mean, we had China that was halted, the Chinese ban for 60 years,
Yep.
right? And during the coal mine era.
Exclusion Act.
We've always tried to carve out exclusions within immigration
Yes.
that coincide or alongside with what's going on with civil rights in the country.
Yeah.
And we're basically seeing the coalition of that again this time. Think about the banned list. Look at the countries on the banned list. Almost entirely all countries of color.
Yep.
So that's what's going on.
And it's amazing. Each time America has eventually
Yeah.
risen above
Yeah.
and formed that more perfect union.
Yeah.
Right? And so I don't want to take over your platform. It's your platform. What's your vision
Yeah.
for the state as you get into running for a House district? What's your vision? What do you want to say to the district as you go out campaigning now for your next level up?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Because now you're living Upper Arlington a little bit and moving.
Yeah.
And like I said, moving further on, what's your vision? What do you want to say to people
Yeah.
and to the state?
Listen, I'm running primarily because I believe we deserve better of our state government.
Okay.
As power starts to return back to the state, I mean this because people at the local level usually understand local government very well. We also tend to understand federal government because it's in the news a lot. So people understand federally what's going on. If you pulled any regular citizen, they have no idea what's happening in the state house. Like literally no idea what's happening in the state house. What bills are passing? Like some of them don't even know their state reps. Some of them don't even know who their state senators are. But at the very same time, your state government is so responsible for your everyday life. Everything from your property taxes to your schools, your public schools. how not they invest in local communities so that your police, safety, fire, roads is properly funded. People don't understand that dynamic. And right now, we have a couple of different crises going on. Our workforce, which immigration is a part of, right? The population in Ohio has only grown in part
because of immigration.
Yeah. Right? If we're going to bring in businesses or keep our communities vibrant, we need the people to work it. If we're going to impact property taxes that seems to be ballooning out of control, that's happening at the State House. Our public schools are under attack. I have always believed in the power of education, the power of possibilities, why I sit here today.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
My parents would always say, people are always going to make more money than you. You can be outspent on a lot of things, but you cannot be outworked unless you choose not to do the hard work.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And public education allows
that to happen.
It is the greatest equalizer.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what circumstances you come from. Having the access to learn, which is completely under attack.
Yes.
So my vision is getting back to a government that we deserve, because we have to rise to it. Now, I wrote a book, so I'm into acronyms, right? And RISE is actually an acronym, where the R is, we need real property tax relief. The I in RISE is investing in communities. The S is supporting public schools. And the E is effective leadership, which we kind of talked about.
Yeah, right.
You can say you can fight all day long, but how you fight is important. So I'm clear-eyed about the realities of our state house right now. We have a super minority Democratic state house, meaning you almost don't need the Democrats to pass anything in the state house, right? So the question is going to become, how effective are you at reaching, even if you're not needed, to advance things that are of human values?
Yeah. And I'm going to pick just the public education because, of course, that's my heart too. I mean, having taught teachers, I will still insist, no matter what other kinds of arrangements are out there, religious schools, Catholic schools, vouchers, public education is, as you said, a great equalizer. Because many kids can't go anywhere else. We all grew up back home in Nigeria in public schools. Now, the fight, though, and I'm going to be very upfront about this, is you've got an ideology that says, oh, they are rotten, public schools are teaching this and teaching that. How do you get the message out again? The balkanization of schools will never be the way to go. Getting homogeneous groups will never be. There's something that's very American, very democratic. And I taught a class in this, that's only public education can do, and teachers. So here's another platform for you to speak on how you can do it. Gosh.
So you know what's happening is we have a trust problem. There used to be a point, and that's the point we need to get back to, where we trusted teachers.
It's all language.
We trusted teachers. Why? Because they have been educated in teaching, right? It's just like you going to the doctor and you trust the doctor because they went to medical school.
We hope.
Right? Even that's under attack. Right? That's a different conversation. I'm not even going to get there. But again, that goes back to my point of trust.
Yes. No, seriously.
Trust in the very things that we have established is completely crumbling. We need to return to trusting teachers to teach children of varying skills and abilities and understanding, right? And that is not in contention with choice. And we are making it this issue. And it's not either or.
It's not.
Right?
Yes.
You have a choice to your religion and wherever your place of practice is, and you can
go at it.
Go to it and teach it. Send them to a Bible study program or to the mosque. I don't know what other implementations there are to teach whatever your values are. But within public schools, history, math, social studies. Where is Nigeria on the map? Africa is a continent, not a country.
The world is bigger than the U.S. I mean,
like we
simple.
should
No,
trust our teachers to
and they're the
give
best.
information.
I mean, I've worked with teachers; they are still the best.
Yeah.
And I keep saying this. When President Obama said that, if you want to build a nation, build your teachers. I'll never forget that, and I'll always give him the props for that.
Yeah.
Just demonizing our teachers will never get us.
No.
I mean, it's actually taking us backwards. But time just is running.
Yeah.
My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I talk about counter stories in the sense of stories that push back against stereotypes, against the narrative, many times in the media.
Yeah.
Right? So for you, it could be in education, and you are you are both a lawyer and an engineer. I don't want to forget to say that, which you could have told us how you ended up with 2 degrees. Just an overachiever, maybe. I think you are. But I'm going to give you some time to just, what does the public not know enough about, or you bring a different perspective? Here's your platform to give us a counter story.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really, really tough one.
Now, please go to
Because I suppose I actually don't really think about it much, because I tend to just bring
yourself.
Myself.
That's already a counter story right there. Go ahead.
I really do. I always welcome the opportunity for people to ask questions of, I mean, literally, I wear my hair natural. I show up into spaces in the way that I am all the time. And for me, it's the last 20 plus years in the country. It's both been a privilege and sometimes a frustration to share that there's different types of people in Africa and in Nigeria, just in general, right? Yeah. Socioeconomics is socioeconomics everywhere, you know? Even with it, like not everyone you see on TV is how Nigeria is. You know? So when people are like, oh, how do you speak English so well? Why have you seem so well traveled? You know, to be able to share that, you know, my parents really believed in exposure, and we traveled a lot as a family growing up together. Even within Nigeria, we took road trips. We're from the southern part of Nigeria, and my parents were very interested that we knew what the North looked like. That's how I grew up. And it's not a startling thing that you grew up maybe having the similar values, or you traveled a lot. Because humans value a lot of the same things. We're just in different parts of the world.
It may seem like you didn't say much, but you said so much. That instead of fearing people and the diversity they bring with them, diversity of skin color, of knowledge, of background, of ancestry, and I use this term, we shoot ourselves in the foot when we don't embrace the differences.
Yeah.
Because in the differences, there's so much more richness.
Yeah.
So I remember when I just had come recently, I was maybe 5 years into, I went to do a lunch, get to know you in Athens, Ohio.
Yeah.
And I've never left that story. It's always been in my head. And many of the college students didn't really come, but there were these 5, 6 older women, white women. And they were so engaged in my story.
Yeah.
And so that's what I hope this does too.
Yeah.
Because the statistics are there. We tell people immigrants bring so much to the economy, and they're still not hearing it.
Yeah.
But to hear your story and to hear you telling people, just bring yourself authentically.
Yeah.
Knock on the door, say, open this door for me. I'm coming in. I have something to say.
Yeah.
That's about it. and then listen and be listened to. Yeah. It's a give and take.
Listen and be listened to.
Listen and be listened to. Nobody has all the solutions.
Yes, listen and be listened to.
Nobody has all the solutions.
Yes, and as you have new information, you have the right to change your mind. Sometimes I think we're too stuck in what we have or feeling like we may be wishy-washy. But I always say people tend to make the best decisions with the facts that they have at the time. So if you have new information, you're allowed to reevaluate where you were before. And with your new information, change. And that's perhaps the grace that most leaders need to give to people too. We don't give people the grace to change. As they have new information, we say to them, "No, you're
5 years ago, 10 years ago."
It's like, well, I have new information now. I read a new book. I've learned something different about those facts. I've learned history.
No shame in that.
And there should be no shame in that.
There should be no shame in that.
Yeah.
I mean, your future is absolutely going to be brighter and brighter as you go forward.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything we can say to you or do for you as you take this next step to run for state position?
Well, winning a campaign is two parts: reaching voters and fundraising to reach voters.
Okay.
So the reaching voters part is volunteers. Go to www.ukeme for us and join us. There's so many different ways to volunteer for a campaign. People are always so intimidated by it. It's not only just door knocking. It's an effective way, but there's phone calls you could do. There's writing postcards. There's other different types of ways to reach a campaign. And then for those that have the financial means and resources, donate, because those ads that are on TV or the mailers that you get, or when they run a digital ad by you that says vote for Ukeme, those don't come out of thin air. They're paid for, and that's what the campaign money is used for. I had to learn all of that as a newbie, and so I know there's people that just don't understand where campaign money goes to. And there's public accountability in campaign finances. So campaign finance reports are released, and I'm always proud to just be a good steward of campaign dollars, so people know how their money is reaching voters.
Yes, you bet. You have me backing you. You have all of us backing you. And I'm saying it and I'm saying it again. This is just a
Thank you. It's an honor for me to serve. It has become one of my greatest passions. I say to people, politics found me, and I'm having just the very best time doing it. And I'm always honored by the trust of voters to vote for me to serve them. So thank you.
You were born to do this. Well, thank you. I anticipate we'll have you back if time permits, because I know you're a busy woman. But thank you. In addition to juggling everything, family and all that.
Thank you so much.
Our prayers are with you. Our love is with you. And so Godspeed. Thank you. What we'd like you to do is, of course, follow her. Of course, stay engaged in our campaign, and most of all, to click that like, subscribe, notify button to know when we're doing something new, so you don't miss hearing people like Mayor Ukeme Awakessien Jeter. Thank you for being with us. Till next time. Bye-bye.